My friends are dragging me into this. Hey, my name's Ange. I've worked in the gaming industry for 17 years, both as a developer and as a journalist. A couple things here I just want to set straight. You could feel how you want to feel about piracy, but there are some mistaken assumptions you're making. Number one, budgets are made taking piracy into account. No game has lost money on piracy. Like, even systems that were notoriously easy to pirate on, like the Wii, the DS, the Dreamcast, everybody developing for those systems took piracy into account when making their games. Game development studios have economists whose job is to factor in the amount of people who will likely pirate a game. So no, you're not actually costing them money. You can give them extra money by buying the game, you can reduce the piracy to buy ratio, but doing that doesn't actually help developers, nor does it help projects. Like you said, you were worried that studios would let people go if games don't sell well. Most people in the games industry are contract workers. They're let go at the end of projects no matter what. And if there are other people who are sticking around, it's going to take a lot more than one game flop to make them get fired. And once again, games don't flop because of piracy. They usually flop because of lack of interest. Furthermore, if there is a studio that's abusing their workers, it's not a catch-22. Do not give them money. Because if they've been keeping people around and abusing them, they're not going to turn around and fire them. In fact, that's why they keep people around, because it's a source of cheap labor. Any new hire, any company restructuring has a chance to bring down an abusive studio, so they like the status quo. Punishing them financially is one of the best things you can do. Now, you can't really do that via casual piracy, because as I said before, game studios take piracy into account when budgeting their projects. But a pointed boycott, not buying a game, does make a difference. But if you're boycotting a game, you probably shouldn't pirate it for any reason other than the single player, because giving people multiplayer competition is giving them a reason to buy the game. Like, I'm just saying this from experience. The myth that companies need your help because they are suffering from piracy is just that. It's a myth. It's propaganda. No company is actually worried about piracy. It is such a small fraction of the sales that they would make. It is a drop in the bucket. But positing themselves as the poor company that has their profits ruined by piracy is a great way to form emotional ties with their consumer base. And that drives sales. It doesn't actually reduce piracy anymore. It actually just makes more people buy games because they feel like it's a moral obligation to. So yeah, piracy isn't a problem. Companies aren't suffering. It's really just all marketing. And if you really want to make a difference, pirate a game, but then send the developer the cost of the game in cash. You will literally be sending them multiple times the amount of money they would have made from a normal sale.